Well, hey there, me old gaming darlings. This is RyuGamer88 coming to you with another video of gaming content, and I hope your Sunday is going swell. So, of course, we are going to be continuing on with our adventure with Link as he's managed to meet the Deku Tree, but of course, because of the story background of what he's told us, we have now got to enter inside. So this, of course, will be the very first dungeon in the whole Ocarina of Time game. So sit back, enjoy, and I hope you'll enjoy this as much as the gameplay goes along through. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe so that you can enjoy the upcoming content of RyuGamer88. And without further ado, less waffling and more gaming. So as you can see here, that after the Deku Tree finishes talking, of course we have to enter. And of course, there's no excitement to the name of the dungeon, because as it is, it's inside the Great Deku Tree. Or inside the Deku Tree. So of course, the Deku barbers that you come across through, they will not be in an immediate stick form. So your best way is to sort of target them and of course attack them from there so you can just time yourself. And of course, we first approach a Deku nut. Now these are quite very good for if you want to stun the enemies in the game. So, and of course they do last for a couple of seconds. I don't think they cause damage, and it's more for a stunning purpose. So of course, if you can't remember how to assign the items, and as it's confirmed, sorry, just quickly, that is only just for a flash and stun purpose to the enemies only, and not damage giving. So of course, if you want to remember how to assign the item, all you have to do is of course press the pause button, and then of course go along to the select item sections as it's already brought us up. Hit either the down left or the down right, and of course it automatically assigns. Now, should you already have an item and you accidentally place it on the same place as it is, so say like for example you've got the Deku stick on the left. Now if you was to assign another weapon onto the same direction, then of course what that does is that it just automatically swaps the position of your item. So do take that into consideration, me old gaming darlings. But apart from that, there's nothing much more difficulty to say. And in case you haven't noticed, them type of Deku barbers, before they go into stick form, they can take up to 2 hits of damage with the Kokiri sword. Now, unfortunately, we cannot just go straight down through the whole cobweb thing, so we've got to find a high place to be able to fall off through, which of course we come to about later on in the game. So first what you want to do is of course climb up the ladder and just stroll along, follow the pathway through. So of course there's no automatic jump button, and that all you have to do when it comes to ledges like this is that you just have to apologies there. And in any case, you just run up. You can do a roll and then go to as you approach the ledge, because it does extend your jumping a little bit. I wouldn't be too gracious about it, but if you're someone who's nitpicky for timing on your jumps, there's a will, there is a way. So of course, as we approach the vine wall, Navi has just informed us that looking at the wall, the vines are growing through on it with a tough, rough surface. Rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, RyuG88. So of course Navi is right, we can climb up there. But in case you hadn't noticed, these enemies here, which they're called Skulltulas. Now, we don't have any weapons to be able to shoot them off the vines, but what you have to do is just climb around them. And if you climb too close to them, they will run after you and knock you off the vine walls and give you damage as well. As you can see with the first chest of the inside the Deku Tree. And we've got ourselves a dungeon map. Now, it's very important as you progress through in the dungeons, look out for the bigger chests, like that size here. And it's only because of the fact that the bigger chests, like this one there, will hold the key items that you need in the game. Now, this can be additional weapons that will be very helpful throughout the game. And also, it will be an acquirement of a dungeon map, like we see here, and of course a compass as well, to be able to show you visually or where you're going about in the map. So these are very handy if you're very explorative and not in the case of speed running. So as noted, of course, it does give you some key figures as to how to acknowledge the map when you're exploring. So of course, as you can see, as I've said, we haven't got the compass, but we do have a directional of how we go about in the map, what the current layout is. So I'll give you an example as to why we shouldn't didn't like that. Come out of that. So you just walk across the vines, and as you can see, because it goes purple, it will attack us and knock us off the vines. So we have no chance of actually going up. And the best way is to continue the pathway. And we should actually go towards this room here. And as Nav is quite right in saying so, we can't just automatically run through a door. You have to approach and of course hit the A button to be able to access the room. So as you approach the door, the message will come up saying open. Now, what this does mean, if you haven't noticed, is that when you approach a room with the jail bars, it means that you have to do an objective to be able to unlock it. Now this can be either killing an enemy, or it's unlocking a puzzle, which could be involving switches or anything else without spoiling too much. Without spoiling too much, then of course without spoiling too much, it's a way of being able to figure out how to leave. So of course in this case, how we'd be able to pass through. We have to stun the enemy by sort of using his whatever he was spitting out of his mouth with the Deku nut, deflect it with a shield, and of course paralyze him to the point that we have to approach him by being able to talk. Ow, 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 forgive me, master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold down forward, you will be able to roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. Now that's quite handy because unfortunately in the game, if you fall off quite high, you will take considerable damage. So with what he's saying here is that when you roll from the ground you won't get hurt. So it can't always guarantee, because it does obviously obviously I got that wrong a little bit. It can't guarantee that it will work, but it is because of course if you were going up from really high places, but it does come effective of not taking damage depending on obviously the height of the area. Very generous. They've given us a heart. Or he is, or she. We don't even know what that is, especially in those not trying to get political in the pronouns. It's a waste of time. So of course we've managed to unlock the door and we're into the next room, and as you can see there's another big chest. And of course the floor crumbles. We've managed to get full health here, which is quite nice. And if memory serves me well, I think we get the compass in this one. No, wrong. Fairy slingshot. This is really helpful if you're approaching enemies that are on the wall, and before you climb up, as obviously as I will say, this will be helpful when dealing with the skulltulas or any other enemies that are on the wall and that will try to knock you off. So it's best to use that weapon first before you attempt any climbing whatsoever. But of course, when you go to use the fairy slingshot, this will of course use the Deku seed as ammunition. So let's give this a try. So again, hit the pause button, go to the slingshot, and then of course return through. Now there was another vine up here, so I think we should definitely give this a shot as to what this could be. Oh, it's a smaller chest. Even though that we was maxed in the recovery hearts. Never say never to a heart. If that ever makes sense, me old gaming darlings. Now, interestingly, we've lost the floating brick platform, and of course there's a ladder which will help us get back through that door. How do we do this? Right. So we select the slingshot, and should we use the ZL button to be able to help target lock? Hit it, the slingshot the fairy slingshot again, and it will knock the ladder down. And as we've done so, we've managed to turn the room, and of course the Deku scrub has actually disappeared. Well, he certainly buggered off, that's for sure. And the good thing is that with these skulltulas in particular, is that they only take one hit with the fairy slingshot. Now with the Deku seeds that these will drop out, these will come in handy for refilling your ammunition for the fairy slingshot. So of course we aren't able to target lock on the sculpture that's further up above. So what we have to do, hit the fairy slingshot button at the C right with the right analog stick. And just... then you're able to target lock. Hit the button again. And of course, he's down and out. And how generous? 1 rupee. A rupee a day keeps Ganondorf away. Or the sculptures away. Whichever floats your boat. If for any reason you felt that the map was getting in the way a bit, with the normal L button on your Switch 2 controller, hit the button and tap again if you want it on, and it'll be able to... Jesus Christ on a motorbike, that was big. Now, with the big Skulltulas, as you can see through with its behaviour, is that you can't just kill it up front facially. You have to wait for it to be able to turn to show its backside. Or its back, shall we say. And these won't take the normal 1 hit. They take 2 hits. So do time your shots carefully, so that you have no issues in getting rid of them. And as you can see, if you was to try and shoot it facially, it will sway, and if you're in the way, and if you're in its way from its swaying, it can hit you, and it will give you it will give you half a heart damage. Tip of the day with the fairy slingshot. Wherever you assign the fairy slingshot, if you hold down on the right analog stick where it's assigned, then of course as soon as you let go, it will release the shot. Being perfectly honest, I am not going all the way down there just for a blooming heart. Rather do so with that one that's just flying about up there. I think I've wrongly gone past the door. Because I was too focused on them big Skulltulas. Oh, it's another jailed door. So to me, that sounds like we've got to get rid of some enemies to be able to progress. Oh, there's a switch. So we've got to cross the platforms. And I wonder what this big chest consists of. And I'm hoping it is a compass this time. And quite rightly, it is. The good thing with the compasses as well is that any treasures that you have not found, it will show up on the key map on the bottom right corner. So if you're having a hard time of trying to find any hidden treasures, have no fear, the compass is at bay to help. And rightly so, there's a small chest here. But before we can cross it, we need to get rid of that big Skulltula. It doesn't have to be the fairy slingshot to be able to hit it. on its backside, you can attack it with the sword. But try not to get too close, because if it spins like that, it can potentially hit you back in return. Now, I don't know about you, but I can hear something. Like a hidden Skulltula. I thought there was. But I could be hearing things. Now, should you see empty torches like this, grab a Deku stick and go up to an already lit one, because these could potentially reveal unlocking the doors or hidden treasure chests, anything. Small treasure chest, and that particular Skulltula, I'll explain just momentarily what these are and how important they are. So, this ain't any normal Skulltula, nor is it a big one. These are what they call golden Skulltulas. And throughout the game, you're going to see them in all sorts of places. And later on in the game, where we approach Kakariko village, you should be able to find a house that requires golden Skulltulas. And which, of course, without going further into it too much, should you meet the requirements of each person for their golden Skulltula tokens, then of course you will get rewards into it. But of course, as I say, I'll explain in good timing as to going more in depth with these. But because this one's quite relatively low, we get our very first gold Skulltula token. Not all gold Skulltulas are easy to get hold of. Some of them will be hard to get to, especially if it's at difficult places or those that require puzzle movements at the same time. Three, two, one, jump away, and I hope that breaks through. Just. Now, I thought you had to jump really high, but it turns out that isn't the case, and that we have to... Do we have to light it up? Well, I couldn't see any fire torches above, so maybe I needed to be more in the centre. Sorry, I thought I saw a fly in the room. And when you're climbing up through the vines, make sure you're in a clear area and not just like half to the side of gravel, because it won't let you climb up properly. Just for the record, me old gaming darlings. I've got to stop having that habit with the Deku nut. I think I need to be more in the centre. There's no way I'll be able to. And there we go, straight through. And Link managed to survive that with water covering him. How Link didn't get hurt by that Deku Barber, I really do not know. But I hear a golden skulltiller. Not that they sound any different from the others, but you can just sort of have that gut feeling if you would like. Ooh, I say, that's another golden skulltiller token. And of course, if for any reason, should you miss out for what you've got so far from the ground floor and up, you can just climb up through the vines. It's not the end of the world. I don't know if you've noticed as well, but to be able to get through to that cobweb door, we're going to need to light it up. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is, of course, use one of these fire torches there. So without further ado on this spell. But seeing that there is a treasure, I think it'd be probably wise. Well, that's even handful. Saves me a Deku stick, that's for sure. Now, there's another skulltiller in the area. And it's right over there. Now, last time I checked, I don't think they made it too easy. But I suppose this being the very first dungeon, of course, why not? So, of course, this ain't going to be no norm of being able to just run up to it. You've got to be a little bit smart as to how to attain it. So as I say through, with the rolling technique, just roll against the edge of that platform and it should give you an extra leap enough to be able to collect that golden skulltiller token. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if you can see through around on the map here, is that there's no way that we can just sort of leap over. Unless we tried it from where that switch was. but I don't think it's going to be enough. And no, sadly not. So let's just return back to that platform there. Grab our Deku stick. And of course, get rid of that cobweb to be able to reveal the door. Don't know if you've noticed as well, when you go to light up the Deku stick, once you've finished using it and it's still alight, quickly use another weapon. Should you be able to do this within time, this doesn't affect the numeric stock that you have on the Deku sticks. Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. Better be useful. You will never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punish them in the proper order. What order is this? Fair enough. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. Now, obviously you've got to hit number 2, then number 3, then number 1. But the whole sentence below in blue is one way to be able to remember the order. So 23 is number 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Or first one is 2, second is 3, and the last is 1. Do you think I'm a traitor? Well, consider that you've just dropped a heart. No. Just don't do it again, you little shit. So to be able to get through that jail barred door, there's a switch above it. And to be able to hit that switch, you're going to need your fairy slingshot. Oh, a little bit more up. And should you hit it accurately enough, the eye switch will close and open the doors. Now, spoiler alert: some of these in the other dungeons, I think, some of them will be timed. But I can't remember if it was colour coded and if there were colour particular for them to be timers. Drop a comment down below if this is true. I sort of remember, but I'm not 100% confident about it. After you get in the water, if you hold down A, you can dive. I bet there are some interesting things underwater. Now, what I said earlier about the lost words about having a diving gill, the diving gill is to help with being able to dive for a longer time. Because unfortunately, Link, being younger Link, doesn't have much of time for diving. And all you have to do is, once you're in the water, hold down the A button, and of course you only get about 3 seconds of diving. And in regards to secrets or something interesting, you can see that there's a switch. And to be able to hit the switch when you're underwater, just dive down, touch the switch, and of course, it's time as well. That's no good. I hope it's enough to oh, how generously nice of it. Thought we was going to run out of time there. Oh, didn't time that great. don't think there is any gold Skulltulas about. And of course Navi has beat me to it in how to push a block. And there isn't any golden Skulltulas. So to be able to push a block, wait for the action or a button on the screen to be able to say grab. And then push forward against the block. Once you're in a position where you can't move it, wait for the action icon to appear for climb to be able to climb up onto the blocks. So of course when you're in this room, to be able to unlock the next door, you're going to need to light up the 2 torches with the Deku stick, with the already lit up one. What on earth are these creatures? Goma lava. Look out when it gets ready to pounce. So, of course, these are quite quick to pounce and they will give you quite a bit of damage. And they will take a bit of hit before you can actually destroy them or kill them. Oh, we've maxed up on our items, which is quite nice. Saves the worries on that. If we grab our Deku stick here. And it looks like a hidden doorway. But there's also another door we haven't gone through yet. Oh, I thought that'd been a doorway. Perhaps I'm wrong. Well, most definitely wrong from the sounds of it. So I have to light up our Deku stick and be able to fly across. Sorry, that was a fly that was just buzzing around and it was getting right on my nerves. So of course, I'm going to have to enter through this tiny hole. And no, I don't mean Link's passageway. Oh no, what happened here? Oh no, the game's gone weird. And that's why you don't play silly buggers on games like this. Now, you may remember the room area that we was in, and it was from where we first fall down through the floor. Let's get rid of these Deku barbers because they're going to be a nuisance. Now, of course, there's no ledge to be able to fall high on this web here, but there is a way to be able to go through it, and I'll show you once we've pushed a block. So, if for any reason you felt like you needed to go back up something after going through the other areas, push this block down here, and it acts as a platform ledge, so that, well, shortcut it is. So of course, if you see cobweb floors like that and you ain't got enough fall to be able to, or no jump fall at all to be able to just go through it, grab hold of a Deku stick, and which of course you're going to have to go to of course you can't really use the ones up here. So what are we going to do? Well, to answer that question, you see that? Damn these inverted controllers. So of course you see that golden torch there. You need to go up through towards it with the Deku stick, like so. Light it up. Then return to the platform that you was, so that you can then light up. And there we have another floor for us to explore. And I'm so glad there was even more water for us to fall through. And look what's come to our aid, some more hearts. Now, if you remember what one of the Deku Scrubs had said about what we've got to hit in order, can you remember? 23 is number 1. So, 2, 3, 1. But because we've got other Deku Scrubs shooting at us, we've got to be really careful that we don't get hurt by the others. So there goes 2. There's number 3. So then we've got to use the last one here. How did you know our secret? How irritating. Well, I suppose one of your other Deku Scrubs had ratted on you. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of the Queen Goma to you. Now, before we go on through, Queen Goma is the boss, spoiler alert, is the boss monster that you fight inside the Deku Tree. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. So, to anyone new into the Zelda game or have never played them before, on the map where you see a skull is a reference to a boss enemy. And with my recommendation, if you are low on hearts or items, try and stack up as much as possible, especially through before the dungeon entering as well, so that you're not limited or penalised of having a difficult fight should you come across any mini boss fights or big boss fights. It's quite ghastly looking from where I remember last time. Oh no. You've done it now, Link. And to save running around, you're not going to find anything hidden. So don't try to run around, you're going to waste your time. To commence the boss fight, you're going to have to look up as you run up to the centre. And with the view button, look straight up to Queen Gohma. And as soon as she looks at you, the boss fight commences. Once you've managed to hit and strike the Queen Gohma, she's going to climb up and raise hell. But as you approach, she's going to drop her little inklings. But try to avoid them for now. And if you see any grasses, cut them, because there could be any possibility of any hearts or droppings. But it's more likely it's going to be the key items that you need. Second hit. I'm hoping she goes down after 3, but I could be wrong. She's going to drop more of her little baby Gohmas. Now, should you destroy the baby Gohma's egg cells before they appear, it stops them from reappearing. Otherwise, you've got to kill them first before actually taking on Queen Gohma again. So it's definitely not 3 hits. 6? Does seem a little bit... I don't know. One can only try. She's going to do the same thing again as well. Drop down. Oh, that was close. Oh, managed to get 2 hits out of that one. But the 6th hit has got to do it. Just need to wait for her to crawl across. Let her drop her baby inklings. And it's actually 8. Now, I don't know if you've just seen that, but when she's crawling up, you can use the fairy slingshot to be able to fall her down and, of course, give her some damage to give. But as you can see, we have successfully managed to be able to defeat Queen Gohma. And for every boss that we kill, we actually get a big heart. Now, for those who don't know the Zelda franchises, the big hearts, they give us new heart containers for our health. You got a heart container. Your maximum life energy is increased by 1 heart. Your life energy will be totally filled. And the good thing is as well, for every, I think it works for the heart pieces as well, but for full heart containers as well, they also automatically fill up your heart health count as well, as you've just witnessed through as well. And of course, like in every dungeon, we have to go through the exit, which is normally in this game like these blue beams you see here. And of course, it's brought us back to the near entrance of the Deku Tree's mouth. Well done, RyuGamer88. The Deku Tree looks a little bit discoloured. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now, I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen? Now, listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert, spoiler alert, Ganondorf, cast this dreadful curse upon me. Should you see any text with red writing like that, these are obvious hints to what they're making references to. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerous powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nayru, the goddess of wisdom. Forore, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Farore, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labours completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armour to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man, with his evil heart, to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. So unfortunately, after the finishing scene, he is slowly passing away, and until you finish speaking with him, the Deku Tree does pass away. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. RyuGamer88, go now to Hyrule Castle. There, thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me. Must admit, when we defeated Queen Goma, we didn't get this stone instantly. But of course the Deku Tree had it all this time. Wouldn't it have been easier for him to just give him that stone straight off and say, look, I'm going to die whether you kill this monster or not, but I'm just going to waste your more time by killing something inside of me. If that makes any sense. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku Tree, who eventually dies. Sorry about that. The future depends upon thee, RyuGamer88. Thou art courageous. Navi, the fairy, help RyuGamer88 to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. So he's just taking his final breath as he speaks those last words. And sadly, you see the great Deku Tree going all grey and withers. Let's go to the Hyrule Castle, RyuGamer88. Goodbye, great Deku Tree. So I'm afraid, me old gaming darlings, this is all that we've got time for this episode. So if you did enjoy this, please leave a like down on the video, and of course drop a comment down below if for any feedbacks or any questions you have regarding of the video play, and of course I'll be more than happy to engage and answer to you as soon as possible. But most importantly, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, because of course your support and your patronage to supporting this channel is of course appreciated as always. So of course, until next time, me old gaming darlings, take care of yourself and others. All the best. See you later.